Hello guys, it's ShelterDrake here doing another Beyblade discussion, some kind of a news discussion. So we have the January and February bays revealed. So first up, for January we have GolemRock 160 Under Needle. So we'll go ahead and start off with 160 since we already have it. 160 looks pretty good. It looks like either, I don't know if it's transparent or like translucent white, but that's the center, and then, orange on the outside. Very, very cool looking. 160 in this combo, I'm not sure of. We'll get to that in a moment, but it is what it is. We also have Under Needle. Under Needle is like a short gear needle, basically. Apparently it's actually 2 millimeters shorter than a needle, so like really shorter than like a low flat and stuff, which is very interesting, but again, kind of a short gear needle. Why that this didn't need to exist. Just make like a shorter needle that's like wider. I think that'd be like really interesting, or like a shorter dot. But it is what it is, I guess. But anyway, getting into the blade, we have GolemRock, so it looks pretty decent. Just kind of a bulky shape, nothing too crazy, but it's fine. It kind of has like a teal and orange thing going on. Unfortunately, I thought the bottom part looked kind of segmented and would have some kind of gimmick. It doesn't. It's just another gimmickless UX bay. Why? It really felt like in October we were going to turn things around, get gimmicks, and UX bays are going to be way cooler, and then now we've had two bays that just haven't had any since then, with Go Circle and now GolemRock. Again, why? Aside from that, yeah, the bay looks like cool, the color scheme's nice, but yeah, they really could have used a gimmick here. Overall for GolemRock, without a gimmick, and the fact that Under Needle's like just short gear needle, this bay is very bland. It looks like decent, I guess, but my problem is the color scheme, because look, orange and like teal, that is actually one of my favorite color schemes of all time. That is a great color scheme. But then they had to have the stupid like bright lime green bit. Why? That completely just destroys the entire color scheme in my opinion. I don't know why they did that, but it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, moving on to the February bay, or bays, whatever you want to say, but it's a random booster select, which is not ideal, but again, just kind of is what it is. So for our main bay here, we have ShelterDrake 780 Gear Point. Gear Point, reused bit, never really like to see reused bits, especially like the gear bits, they're just not interesting. I guess Gear Point's better than like Gear Needle or Gear Ball, but still not really what I was hoping to see here. It's a balanced bay. It's fairly boring, but again, sure. Now, my problem is usually when we see, reused bits, we get a new ratchet, and when I say new ratchet, I mean like a new contact point amount, like 7 or 0, but here we have 780. So yes, it is a new ratchet, because we only had 660, or not 660, 760 and 770, now we have 780. Who cares? No one cared about... I don't think anyone cared about 780. It exists. Like, it's probably not going to be overly useful, for being honest, but it sure does exist, and it's technically new. So the parts in this bay are already extremely boring. But as far as the blade goes, looks to be like a red and black ShelterDrake. Again, it sure does exist. It's a BX blade, so nothing crazy, but in terms of the shape, it's kind of like a Quetzalcoatl shape from MFB. It's fine, but it's just uninteresting, and with bland parts, this bay, I just feel, is possibly the most boring bay in all of Beyblade X so far. Again, you have a pretty boring shape, with a ratchet that's like barely new, and a reused bit. Nothing about this bay just stands out. I don't really care for it. I don't know, I don't like this bay very much. And aside from that, yeah, they also like this thing where 780 and Gear Point apparently are supposed to be using like Impact Drake for some special connectivity, which is probably just going to be like a recommended combo, honestly. I don't see it having like a special function, but it is what it is, I guess, but yeah. So moving on to the other combos here, we have a yellow ShelterDrake that comes with 570 and Orb. That's actually pretty alright. I mean, 570, decent reprint. And then Orb is also a pretty good reprint. And also we have a green ShelterDrake, with this one with a 360 and Dot. 360 is kind of whatever, but it's still like not bad. And also, well, it's a day one part, so I don't really like it that much, but still. Also Dot, actually a good reprint right here, so Yeah, I mean, this one, it's kind of just like budget black shell, but I mean, it works. So overall, I actually think the main one has the worst part selection. I'd rather get like Orb and Dot over Gear Point, and I mean, Ratchet's like, I'm reasonably confident that 360 and 570 are better than 780, so honestly, you might as well just buy a random, like a completely random pull and just see what you get, or just wait for the other ones to come out and just buy one of the recolors to get it cheaper, because unless if you're a collector like me, I don't think you're really going to need anything from the main bay, if we're being honest, so just get one of the other like better pulls and get it for cheaper. I feel like that's probably the better option there, so yeah, this random booster select I don't think is very good. I mean, you get some like decent like parts out of the other pulls, I guess, but the main pull is really boring. That's like the main bay, so I don't like it very much. The blade, I mean, design-wise, it's like, I mean, you got like the whole red theme going on. It looks pretty cool, but also still fairly boring. Unlike GolemRock, it doesn't have a mostly good color scheme, so it's just like a solid color scheme. I'm not very big on this bay, if I'm being honest. It's a balance site, but they talk about like the defense on it and whatnot. I don't know. I'm just not really a fan of ShelterDrake. I don't think it needs to exist. Also, why is it Drake? Is it supposed to be like a Gaia Dragoon thing? But yeah, I don't know. This bay is just weird. It didn't really need to exist. It's what I'm trying to get at. So now we have one more thing, which is a CX teaser. I cannot show this because it's in the Korokoro, but yeah, there was a CX teaser. This kind of like shows like a vague shape. And like the center you can see is like open, so removable gear chips will probably be a thing. I really hope CX is more than just that. Otherwise it'd be very, very boring, but it should probably have more than that, so we'll see what it has. For now, I really just can't say a whole lot on CX. It's just kind of there, but we'll see next month. I am very curious to see what they do. Hopefully the divided blades are like actually interesting and not just like removable gear chips, like a removable plastic piece that does nothing, but again, we'll wait and see, but for now, it just, like, I don't have a lot to say about it. So anyways, overall, this month is actually pretty bad, I think. Again, the CX teaser, can't really get a whole lot from that. GolemRock is very boring, it doesn't have a gimmick. The color scheme was, like, the one thing it had going for it, and they, like, ruined it with the green. And ShelterDrake, man, this bay is just so boring. Like, absolutely nothing of note with this bay. It might be the last new BX bay, and, like, yeah, that's not really an ideal way to go out, I'm not gonna lie, so. Overall, I think next month will be a lot better, because we have, CX and stuff with that news, so that'll be pretty exciting, I think, but, yeah, this month is definitely just kind of a dud, if we're being honest. It's, not really what I was hoping for, because, again, I was hoping the February bay would be a little bit cooler, and also GolemRock I thought would have a gimmick, and neither of those ended up happening, so. Is what it is. It's a pretty boring month, but yeah, nothing else to really say about these bays. So, a fairly short news discussion for once, but yeah, it's a lot to really say. Again, not really looking forward to these releases. I mean, I'll get them, I'll talk about them, but I don't think they're overly great. So, again, well, we got next month. So, anyways, that's all for this video. So, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.